Lock in with me, guys. I'm going to walk you through how to heal your skin barrier. If you're new here, I'm Storm from Skin Zone, and in this video, I'm going to walk you guys through actually understanding whether or not you have a damaged skin barrier. So some symptoms of what that actually looks like, what's causing it, because often or not, there can be things that you're doing in your skincare routine that's actually causing the impairment, how to heal your skin barrier, as well as how you can prevent it from happening again. So to get started, I want you guys to look at this diagram here. So we can see on the left, we have our healthy skin barrier, and you'll be able to see here that it's functioning as it should. Our skin barrier is protecting our skin. It's made up of oil and water, and it's there to repel any bacteria, viruses, pollutants, and just making sure that everything is functioning and supported as it should. We can also see down here that the moisture is staying within the skin. However, when we look at a damaged skin barrier, what happens is our skin starts to have moisture evaporate from our skin. So we have transepidermal water loss, which will result in decreased ceramide levels in the skin. Your skin is then open to other bacteria, pollutants, and as well as viruses. So we can see here that we have other problems that happen when we have a damaged skin barrier. Now, unfortunately, in today's climate, we do have a lot of people who are actually having damaged skin barriers. I think over the years, I have seen a high percentage of both men and women who are actually causing a damaged skin barrier with the products they're using at home. And it's not your fault. So I want you to, if you are having a damaged skin barrier at the moment, it's not your fault. There's so much misinformation out there, and you're literally trying your best. You're trying to take care of your skin, but we're just going to walk you through the things that you shouldn't do and the things that you really need to do to maintain and keep your skin nice, clear, and healthy as possible. So let's talk about the signs your barrier is actually damaged. Product sting is one of the biggest signs that you guys will experience. So if you notice that certain products, serums, sting when you apply them to your skin, maybe it has been products you've used in the past, and then all of a sudden you're like, why are they stinging? You have your barrier is impaired. If you're using a new product and you notice that it's stinging, sometimes it can be the product depending on what you're actually using. If it's an allergic reaction, that's a little bit different. However, products shouldn't be stinging your skin. So that's normally a sign that you will experience if your barrier is damaged. And it's not with all products, but it will be with some products. Excessive oil. So if you have an oily skin type, you are probably loving getting rid of all the oil. So whether that be using drying masks, using really harsh foaming cleansers, or just like scrubbing your skin because it gets rid of all the oil, that is causing problems to your actual skin barrier. Now, when that happens, when you have oily skin, your skin goes into overdrive of creating more oil than it needs to compensate. Your skin is extremely dehydrated. So it's producing more and more oil to compensate from the lack of water in your skin. Then we have tight skin. So if your skin feels tight after cleansing, or it just feels tight in general, then we have dehydration, underlying redness in the skin. So you might find that you have redness across your cheeks, or it could be redness all over the face, depending, but you'll notice it's quite pink underneath. You might even get a little bit of a rash. And then as well, if you're more of a dry skin type, you might find that after cleansing, you have dry, flaky specks of skin. And you have to look really close up, but you will notice that. So that's more if you're a dry skin type. Now, you will probably have multiple signs that your barrier is damaged, not just one sign. You might only have one sign if it's not too bad, but if you have quite severe skin barrier damage, you'll have multiple signs. Okay, so what is the cause of the reason why you have a damaged skin barrier. This can be a multiple list of things you are doing in your routine, or it could just be one thing. The first thing that I see you guys do is over exfoliating. And I know some brands will put on their exfoliants that you can use it daily or you can use it twice daily, which you just don't need to exfoliate that often, especially if you've decided that you want to use a exfoliating acid cleanser in your skincare routine, and then you're also using a exfoliating toner or a serum as well. It's way too much exfoliation. You do not need to exfoliate that much. Next is overuse of retinols or retinoids. So again, if you are going straight into using it every single night without preparing your skin and allowing your skin to adjust to retinol, then you can also end up with an impaired skin barrier, especially if you are exfoliating a lot as well. So normally those two go hand in hand. Stripping foam cleansers is probably the most common culprit I see clients using. And this is what I used to have when I was growing up as a teenager. My skin was so impaired. I had no idea before I studied skin. But I would use a tea tree foam wash that was way too drying on my skin. And my skin always felt tight, dehydrated. I had redness. I would have to wear makeup to cover up because I was so embarrassed of the redness in my skin. I had broken capillaries because I was just stripping back my oils on my skin. It was so dehydrated. Stripping foam cleansers. So even gel cleansers. Not every product, but a lot of products on the market have stripping ingredients in them, or they're just too much for your skin. So if you have a foaming or a gel cleanser, I want you to actually, when you cleanse next, feel how your skin feels afterwards. Does it feel tight and squeaky clean? If that's the case, it's most likely too harsh for your skin and most likely causing the issue. Another one is too many actives or skincare actives, so serums that aren't working together. So you might be using multiple brands or you're using multiple skincare serums that have different ingredients that aren't compatible and they shouldn't be used together at the same time. And again, this isn't your fault because there's so much information out there. You're trying to work on having clear, healthy skin, yet there's so many products. And especially when it comes to trending products and things like that, it's very easy to think that that product's going to solve your problem. And then you're just adding it to your bathroom drawer of all your other products and you're just putting it into your routine without having an actual strategy. And then again, that can cause problems with your skin barrier. If you have oily skin, another issue I find is a lot of you skip moisturizer. You need to use a moisturizer in your skincare routine, even if you have oily or acne prone skin. You just need to find the right moisturizer that is suitable for your skin type. Moisturizers are there to protect your skin, but they are also there to prevent transepidermal water loss. So we need to make sure that you are using moisturizer. Another one is overuse of clay masks and drying treatments. Again, that happens a lot when someone has breakouts or excess oil and you're just trying to keep that at bay, but it's causing more problems. Now, we also have some other factors. So not necessarily in your skincare routine, but we have environmental factors. So things like wind, different times of the year when we have different weather conditions, sickness, stress as well. So for example, earlier in the year, I had an impaired skin barrier around my nose and lip area because I'd been sick and I was blowing my nose so much that my skin got so dehydrated and I'd damaged my skin barrier in that area. And I knew I'd done that because one, it felt really dehydrated and dry, but two, my products started to sting. So that's another sign, whereas I'm doing everything right in my skincare routine, but it was something outside of my control that happened and I just needed to heal my skin. So it can happen to everyone. And then excess heat on the skin. So if you love the hot showers and using boiling water on your skin, again, that can cause an impaired skin barrier as well. So by going through this, you might have a good idea now of what you've been doing wrong. Hopefully you can understand what the root cause is of your impaired skin barrier, because that's going to help you long term of what not to do. Now, what I want you to avoid now that we have identified that you have a damaged skin barrier, you need to stop exfoliating. So stop exfoliating. You're going to stop any vitamin C serums in your skincare routine. You're going to stop your retinols or retinoids. So any of these active ingredients, you are going to stop. Put them away. I don't want you to introduce any new products because we need to work on healing your skin first before you introduce any new products. Otherwise, you don't know, you might have a reaction to the product and it might not actually be the product. It could just be your skin because it's damaged at the moment. You want to avoid hot water, and you also want to avoid using any rough towels. So if you dry your face after with a rough towel, possibly just look at using something softer and pat dry. Now, when I say stop exfoliating as well, that includes exfoliating cleansers. So if you have a salicylic acid cleanser or one with like lactic acid or any acids in that cleanser, you need to stop using that cleanser because that's exfoliating. All right, how we're going to actually fix and heal our skin barrier. Number one is we're going to skip cleansing in the mornings. Just use water. If you're extremely oily, you can still cleanse. But if you can get away with not cleansing, then skip cleansing in the mornings. Just use lukewarm water and then go in with your other serums, as long as they're hydration and moisturizer. So if you are going to use a cleanser, we're going to use a gentle cleanser. You can still use a gel cleanser, but it needs to not be stripping. It needs to be really gentle, have gentle ingredients in it, no sulfates. Otherwise, opt for a cream or a milk cleanser that's going to add some hydration and lipids back into your skin. Hydration serums only, so you can continue to use niacinamide, hyaluronic acid, any of those hydration ingredients, panthenol, and any soothing botanicals like aloe vera, arnica, any of those kind of ingredients you still can use in your skincare routine. But we are going to make sure that no other actives, so no vitamin C, no retinols. So hydration serums only. You don't have to. That's optional. Moisturize. We're going to moisturize. So continue to use your moisturizer. And of course, we're going to continue to use SPF. If you have one with zinc oxide in it, even better because it's anti-inflammatory. Time. It's going to take time for your skin to get back to how it's meant to function. So it takes time for your skin to come back into balance. So you need to be patient and you need to be consistent. So let me give you an example of what a barrier repair routine can look like in the mornings. So a light rinse with water only. If you're super oily and you need to cleanse, use a gentle cleanser once. One cleanse. Hydration serum, if you have one, you can still use as long as your skin's not stinging, you can use, and that's optional. Moisturize and SPF. That's it. Nothing else. If you have an eye cream and your around the eye area isn't impaired, you can use your eye cream. At nighttime, you're going to use your gentle cleanser. You can use it twice. If you can get away with just doing it once, do it once. But if you have been wearing makeup, you're going to have to. Same with SPF or makeup, you're going to have to do a double cleanse. No more than that though. And then a hydration serum, again, that is optional. And you're going to finish with moisturizer. So a question I get is, how long is it going to take my skin to be repaired? Now, this is going to be different for every single person depending on how severe the damage is. If you've noticed straight away, then it will take you a lot quicker for your skin to get back to normal. So mild damage could be 3 to 7 days, moderate 2 to 4 weeks, severe, if you have severe sensitivity and you've been doing this a long, long time, 4 to 8 weeks generally, and then full lipid recovery, 6 to 12 weeks. So for example, if you have just started to realize that I think my cleanser, my skin always feels tight and dry, and I've been doing this for years, it's probably going to take you a lot longer. So be patient, be consistent, and once your skin comes back into balance, you'll notice a huge difference in how your skin glows. So once your skin barrier is repaired and you're noticing that it's looking a lot healthier, it doesn't feel tight anymore, it feels hydrated, and your products are no longer stinging, then you can slowly introduce your actives slowly if you are using actives in your skincare routine, like retinol or vitamin C, and exfoliating acids or scrubs if you prefer to use that. Now, when you are introducing your actives slowly, I would probably do one product at a time rather than bombarding your skin with all these ingredients. Start one at a time. And again, start every 3 days, so only about twice a week, and then slowly just reintroduce, because you do need to monitor your skin's response just to ensure that your skin barrier is in fact in repair. So long-term skin health, how we're going to prevent your skin barrier being impaired or damaged in the future. We want to keep a simple skincare routine. You guys don't need a 10 to 12 step skincare routine, and I know that a lot of people feel like they do to have clear, healthy skin, but you actually don't. Take it from me, who's been in the industry for over 12 years, and I've tried every product under the sun. I have had the extensive skincare routines when I first joined the industry because obviously so exciting. But over time, as I looked after clients, helping them with their skin, it's actually quite funny. Your skin knows how to function if you would allow it to, if you support it correctly. So a simple skincare routine. So a gentle cleanser. If you are more oily, you can use a gel cleanser, but none that strip back your natural oils. So again, you need to find the right gel cleanser. As well, if you are a drier or mature skin type, go for a milk or a cream cleanser. That's going to really be beautiful for your skin. Barrier hydration serum. So you want to make sure that you are using this every single day. That can be something like niacinamide with hyaluronic acid and panthenol, keeping the skin nice and healthy. Exfoliating. If you do want to exfoliate, you want to do this once to twice weekly, no more than twice weekly, even if the product says you can use it daily. You will find that you will use way less, and I would actually recommend using a exfoliant in a serum form. So whether that be mandelic acid or your lactic acid, so they're more gentle. If you are oily, salicylic acid will be good for you. Then we also have, if you love using retinol or you want to look at having retinol in your skincare routine, opt for something that's encapsulated, so encapsulated retinol, because it's actually going to be a slow release into the skin. So instead of it just being bombarded on your skin all at once, it's going to slowly release into your skin and do everything it's meant to do. Again, that's optional. And then you need to moisturize, even if you're oily. So I will link down below some of my favorite products that I use in my skincare routine to maintain my skin health. My skincare routine is pretty simple, but it's got the key actives that I need in my routine every single day to have clear, healthy, glowing skin. I am so excited for you to be able to heal your skin barrier. If you're new here, please make sure you subscribe for weekly videos. If you have any questions, please pop them down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.